Hey, my name is Kyle, and in today's film, I'm taking you along on a recent trip I did across Portugal in a camper van with 3 amazing women. And during this time, I was thinking back on all the mental shifts that I've made over the years, which have helped me manage my anxiety and make more space for happiness in my life. So I thought I'd share some of these mental shifts and show you what that looks like for me in my life. And just before we begin, I'd like to say that if traveling is something that you have been itching for, I would say go for it. And if you're able to do so, there are endless lessons waiting out there. And van life is just another level of adventure altogether, in my opinion. And for me, the things that set van life apart from other forms of traveling is that it's cheaper. You have your mode of transport, your place of rest, you have your own private bathroom, and you have all your stuff with you at the same time. You have insane freedom to travel wherever you want. During our trip, we would consult Google Maps, like in the satellite view, put our finger on something that looks incredible and make our way there. And at the same time, you skip out on all the crowds. You get to experience a kind of minimalist lifestyle, which is great because it kind of brings to light our form of attachment to things, which I think is a valuable lesson when it comes to happiness. You'll learn to be at home anywhere. Even if you're traveling in a van, you can make yourself feel at home with your own personal routines and habits. You can enjoy your morning coffee. You can spend your days moving at your own pace and enjoy the freedom that comes with learning to make any little space your home. And lastly on this note, you can connect with nature. And this is a big one for me. You can pick your own version of paradise. We would shift between dams, rivers, ocean, and Portugal is a fantastic place for this. Okay, the van tour. So, front section, 3 seats, lots of storage, and both these 2 seats rotate. Kaylee is head of cleaning and organization at the back. And we've got the 2 spare seats at the back with all the inverters and batteries underneath. There's storage, and there's a skylight. More storage. Oh yes, there's a table that goes out there. We've also seen that in the videos. Then there's the toilet storage. And we've got the 2 tops here. One is gas, one is a sink. And then we've got a little fridge over there. At the back, we have the 2 beds and the storage. And that's it. So, I guess for me, this all began when I found myself in a place in life where I was unhappy and I had enough of feeling unsettled, disconnected, and just generally uncomfortable in my own skin. I personally think that this is a really important part of understanding what happiness means to you. The unhappiness gives you context to happiness. At that point, I decided to ignore all the professional advice that my anxiety was a wiring issue in my brain and that nothing would fix it, and started to explore all the different ways to ease it. And to cut a long story short, I found the world of yoga. So, we had a very successful first night, managed to pack the van properly, and it's looking good. We stayed at this cool dam, and the nice thing about Portugal is that you can wild camp. Did you? No, man. Okay, so but this isn't a film about me trying to convince you that yoga can help. I think my YouTube channel makes it obvious enough. But it's more about the mental shift that I experienced that allowed me to begin the journey to self. And that, in my opinion, is what is lacking out there in the world of content, and something I wish I could have given my 20-year-old self. And that is simply that you can change. And it all began when I realized that I could create the mental space I needed to gain that perspective. And happiness, in my opinion, is often misrepresented online. Although the content you see from my trip may seem like I'm the happiest, most content person on earth, but this isn't the case. I still felt and feel levels of anxiety, uncertainty, and fear. I still struggle with my depression and life trauma, but the shift that I wish I could have told my younger self was that it's actually not about feeling this constant state of joy or elation, but more about becoming comfortable with the journey of happiness. And I'm not trying to say that happiness is a place that you eventually arrive to, but more something you begin to feel when you stop waiting for something to happen so you can feel a certain way. Waiting around for everything to align so that you can feel this freedom just distracts you from living in the present. And I honestly try and avoid using these flowery words like mindfulness and presence and consciousness and living in the now. But the only reason why I was so unhappy was because I was living either in the past or the future. I was completely chained to both that, past and future, reliving past moments and regrets that just simply pulled me away from what was happening right in front of me. I eventually realized that in order to feel happiness, I also had to accept unhappiness. And as soon as I began to accept both sides of that, I was then able to begin to let it go, eventually surrender to what is the present moment, essentially. Freeing myself from the past and the future, becoming comfortable with the ups and downs of life, all the pain and uncertainty and constant work that is required. This is what created the growth that I was actually looking for, to learn to love the process and use it to grow. And it was that perspective shift that changed everything. I then saw adversity as opportunity, and that, in my opinion, is where true happiness lies. And this channel is a space where I simply share the tools that have helped me along the way. But at the end of the day, only you can truly help yourself. And I'm here to tell you that that is totally possible.